G'day vatos, thanks again for tuning in to yet another video. Infamous here, coming at you live from San Jose, California. Let's go ahead and get on with the topic of today's ride. The Icon collection that Harley-Davidson has finally announced. They've been teasing us since February. Everybody was expecting 100 new bikes, new CEO now. He's changed that. He's canceled a few models, most notably the Bronx. I'm very excited about the 1250 Custom. 150 horsepower. I'm excited. Hopefully it ain't too expensive. But anyways, let's get on with the topic of today's ride, the Icon. So Harley-Davidson they're labeling the Icon collection along with the CVO. If you look at their website, they're pretty much in the same category, but without all the nice perks that you get with the CVO, all the great parts, aftermarket parts, not really aftermarket, OEM parts, and the beautiful paint jobs that they have with the CVOs. You don't get pretty much any of that. The Icon collection it's a toned down version of the CVO, but with the with the price tag pretty much the same. $30,000 is a lot of money for this bike, if you were to ask me. That's just my opinion. $30,000 for $30,000 for a standard electric light standard with a two-tone paint job and a 114, and let's not forget the RDRS. I just don't see it. Other vehicle manufacturers, they have their own custom department for some of the builds. Look at Ford, they have SVT, Special Vehicles Team. You could also look at Toyota, they have Toyota Racing Development. And this is just to kind of fill in a market where people just have a little bit more extra income. They have a little bit. It's just a market for consumers to spend a little bit more money and just have that peace of mind that it's coming from the manufacturer instead of taking it to a custom shop. But you know what? Some of these manufacturers also have outlets. They also have special shops that they work with. Notably Ford. They have Roush. They have Celine. They have Shelby. It's just a partnership where they have a limited run, kind of what the Icon is doing, and they just outsource the job, and they really make these vehicles unique. Typically another shop will do a limited run of parts, special parts, body kits, superchargers, depending on the manufacturer. Camaro, Chevrolet, they had to deal with Yanko many years ago. There's shops out there that Harley-Davidson could have worked with to make this Icon a little bit more special. They could have outsourced it to many different shops. Dirty Bird, San Diego Customs. There's shops out there that they could have probably worked with and have some kind of a unique touch to these bikes, to these Icon bikes. But looking at the Revival, Electric Guide Revival, there isn't really anything that sets it apart. One of Harley-Davidson's employees mentioned how difficult that paint scheme is, which is it's not really true. That two-tone paint is pretty much what would be your first task, or if you were training to make some kind of a two-tone paint job on a bike or on a vehicle, whatever we're talking about. That would be one of the first styles, two-tone paint jobs that you would probably do, that you would paint on a bike. It would be that. And honestly, it's quite simple. You don't even have to match up with anything else. You just do the tank, and that's pretty much it. The fenders painted all one solid color. The saddlebags and the fairings all painted one solid color. The only real two-tone paint is the tank. And looking at Harley-Davidson's other available paint schemes, we're talking about the specials on the Road Glide, on the armored bronze, You know what, I'm not going to get into it, but they have more complex designs than the one that they're offering on the Icon, the Electric Glide Revival Special Standard, whatever you want to call it, what it actually is. But they have more technical, advanced paint jobs on other bikes, and it's still under $29,000. The only real special touch on that bike, the only thing that really sets that bike apart from the rest, the only unique factor on that bike is the seat. And if you were to ask me, is that seat worth the $30,000? I'm going to tell you absolutely not. It's a single seat. It's got a little rail on it, a little guardrail on the seat. I just don't see how it's $30,000. I guess the only real thing to do is just make it a limited run, 1,500 or 1,800 of them made. I guess that would be the only thing to really give that bike some value, knowing that there's only a certain amount and they're not going to make any more. I guess that would be it. It's kind of like the Jordans of the sneakers, limited run. They sell for a lot more than they would, mainly because of the color scheme. I guess that's the only thing. And you know what? I'm hoping this works out for Harley-Davidson with everything that's been going on, the sales, the live wire being a fail, and you know, I'm just hoping that this sells pretty good for Harley-Davidson. Am I going to be looking at getting one? Absolutely not. There's no way you could convince me to get that bike. I don't even think I'd get that bike for $16,000. After releasing the video, my reaction of the Icon and talking about the Icon collection and their focus and how they were going to make these bikes unique, I started kind of realizing, you know what, Harley-Davidson's been doing that for all their models. The same air-cooled V-twin engine. They're always using their history, 120 years of history of designs. I believe this emblem on the tank badging on my lowrider S, it's from the 70s or 60s or something like that. So they're always paying tribute. They're always paying tribute to their history. You saw it on the lowrider. That was from the AMF days. They were paying tribute to those years. They were probably Harley's most horrible years. And then they were also paying tribute just with the Slim, the Fat Boy. They have different types of tribute bikes. So then that kind of had me thinking, you know what? The only thing that sets this bike apart is just the seat, as I mentioned. That's pretty much it. $30,000. But like I said, hopefully Harley-Davidson sells pretty good. They sell this bike. Based on the reactions on the video, a lot of people liked it. I don't think they mentioned the price. I think if those comments would have seen the price, $30,000, I think they would have probably had a different opinion. But you know what? That's just me. I don't know. I like my lowrider. That's pretty much it. You guys just stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.